Hey guys, so today I'm going to be answering one of my most popular questions, which is what is the best programming language to start with when you're just getting started learning how to code? So this is a really broad and very hard question to answer because, to be honest, it depends on your goals. If you have unlimited time, you don't want to necessarily turn your interest in programming into a job in the future, then the answer is to follow your interests. What do you want to build? Like, what are you interested in building? Let what you're interested in building drive what programming languages you want to learn in the future. But if you're like the majority of us and you're hoping that your programming skills can help you land a job in the future, then you need to come close. If you're hoping that your programming skills will help you land a job in the future, there are a couple things you need to consider when you choose a language. You want to choose a language that's popular enough that it has good resources online, and you also want to choose a language that's growing in popularity. If you're choosing a language that's growing in popularity, that means that you'll be able to find a job in the future because this language is going to have like high demand. Employers are going to want to see people with this skill set. So those are the two key things you want to think about when you're choosing a language. You don't need to learn every single language. I feel like this is a really common beginner thing, is that you feel really pressured to learn as many languages as possible. Listen guys, you don't need to learn every single language. It's better to focus on one language and really dive in and learn that language as well as possible. Now, let's get started with my 4 top languages that I think that beginners should definitely check out. Okay, so let's talk about one of the most popular languages, which is JavaScript. JavaScript is the dominant language in web development. Any website that wants to be interactive and wants to look pretty good is going to need JavaScript. JavaScript allows a website to be more interactive and more user-friendly. If you have any interest in a career in web development, you're going to need to learn JavaScript. And JavaScript is a pretty cool language. It's multi-purpose, so you have the front end, which is like the client-side code that you can interact with, but then you also have the back end, which a lot of people use Node.js as their backend for JavaScript. And JavaScript was listed as the #1 most popular language in the Stack Overflow developer survey. So it meets one of our criteria of being a very popular language. So you're gonna find a lot of resources on JavaScript. And it's no coincidence that you're gonna see a lot of boot camps teaching people how to learn JavaScript because JavaScript is a high in demand language. A lot of employers are looking for people who have the skills to build really great and interactive websites. JavaScript also has a huge community of people who are interested and passionate about JavaScript. So it's not going to be difficult to learn from other people if you decide to choose this language. And like I mentioned before, almost every website uses JavaScript. If you're on youtube.com, this website is built using JavaScript as well. So like I said, it's one of those languages that's extremely popular and is really high in demand. So that's why I put JavaScript as one of the languages on my list. So now we're coming to my personal favorite, which is Python. I'm a huge fan of Python because I feel like it's extremely readable. When you look at Python, it basically reads like pseudocode. Everything is very neat, easy, and simple. It's not very difficult to kind of get started working on projects if you know Python. And the great thing too is Python is not only extremely easy to learn, but it's also really high in demand in the workforce. Python is very multi-purpose. You're going to see it used on different aspects in the workforce. One of the most popular uses of Python is people who are doing machine learning data science. Because Python has such strong libraries and strong capabilities, a lot of machine learning data scientists sort of trend towards using Python to build models. Python can be used for other things too. Like if you're a backend engineer, you might find yourself using Python and using Python's different libraries to build out backend services. Python is really good with data engineering and data ingestion. Python can also be used for DevOps and cybersecurity. So you're going to see that Python just has a lot of usefulness in the workforce and in building different applications. Reddit, a very popular website, uses Python, and top tech companies, of course, use Python on the back end and for machine learning. So the next language I would recommend is Java. Java actually holds a really near and dear place in my heart because it was the first language I actually learned. I know Java gets shit on a lot because it tends to be very bulky, very verbose, but I feel like it's a good language to start with because it really helps solidify a lot of fundamentals when you're learning. Look at how you would loop through a list in Java versus how you would loop through a list in Python. Because you have to down that you're starting from 0 all the way to the end of the list, Java really allows you to understand why things are working the way they are. Versus Python, even though it's really easy and readable, with Java, it's really easy to understand those complex programming concepts because you actually have to write down every single thing. Another good thing about Java is that there are so many university courses online that are done in Java. Java is a very popular language for people who do computer science in school, so you're gonna find a lot of online resources for Java. Java, like the other two languages I listed, is a multi-purpose language. Java is used to build desktop applications. It can be used for backend services. It can also be used for Android mobile development. And it's also really popular. You'll see Java a lot in big banks for their enterprise applications. A lot of companies use Java. Amazon has built their AWS system using Java. So the final language I'm going to add on here is Swift. If you're not watching this through the youtube.com website, you're probably watching this on an application. The truth is that the world is sort of moving towards more mobile development. Your iPhone and your Android phones are becoming extremely important and critical aspects of your life. Swift is the language to develop applications across Apple ecosystem. So you can use Swift to develop not only mobile apps, but you can also use Swift for desktop applications, iPad applications. Swift is a pretty multi-purpose language too if you're in the Apple ecosystem. So that's why I put Swift on this list, because I feel like mobile development is extremely important and you're going to see a lot of companies prioritizing that development. So I think it makes sense to add Swift onto the list as well. So bonus, this is another language I feel like is really important, and that's SQL. SQL is a programming language that's used to help design and manage data in a database. So any sort of communication that you're going to need with a database, you're going to have to use SQL for that communication. And any sort of application you're going to build is probably going to rely on some sort of database. That's why I'm going to add SQL as the last language, but focus on the first 4 and then add SQL at the end. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.